Here is the setup. These are the seats. This is the configuration we settled on. I am sitting on the headache rack, the back of the bed, leaning up against the tire hoist. That's the noise in the background. So we got two booths facing each other. The spacing of these two is a little closer than needed to be, and that was in order to clear that post. That post had to go between those two seats, not alongside those two seats. So this one here is like 18 inches, which is still within specs. Gives you plenty of leg room. We did a lot of sitting and moving and whatnot. All the seats are on 3-inch risers, and then, you know, in a school bus, they bolt to a rail that runs along the side. So they got the side of the bed is that rail, but it's 3 inches higher than stock, so we added 3-inch risers to all the legs there. It's good. It made them a nice height. You know, school bus seats are a little short for adults. It really worked out well. The seat belts themselves came from a company out of Florida. Custom made them for us, pretty cheap, you know, relatively speaking. I think because I bought so many, it was like, I don't know, $12 a piece. We went with the bright orange because then my wife, or whoever is back here running the tour, can simply walk down the aisle and tell at a glance if you're buckled. We need to purchase some seatbelt extensions because, you know, America's expanding waistline. That ought to be an awkward conversation the first time we have to use them. The front two seats, those have a pretty narrow aisle. That is actually, well, to be honest, that is an acceptable width for a school bus, but it's not really practical for adults. The seats had to be mounted inboard, so that's why they're closer together. All of these are 4 inches wider apart, and it's fine, you know. My hips basically brush the seats a little as we go through. Here are our top bows. They're all bent right there, and we bent them with the cat. Used the air jack, trying to lift the cat, pushing on those up on some blocks. Anyways, Dad and I did it. It was a trial and error kind of thing. And then they will mount to these tabs at the top of my uprights. So here's a tab that I've already curled up, and so they will sit right there. We have spacers that fit in here. They will be welded to these top bows. Then I'll drill and tap, and that'll give me 3/8 of an inch or more of thread. That should be plenty. Along the edges, we're then going to run a single solid rub rail, which will allow our canvas top to curl over and not tear. So that's how we're working that. No, it should work well. These things, they top out at about 5'10", and I managed to get another 3.5 inches of curl to the top. So if you're walking down the middle, it'll be about 6'2". And I had to come up with a compromise. That is 11 feet off the ground. So I had to come up with a compromise between tall guys banging their heads and the truck always getting hung up on stuff. So you can see how much higher than the cab the uprights are. But that is how we do it. And oh yeah, put that in there. Show my success and failure. That is living proof that you don't violate the cardinal rule of big trucks. You always check behind them. Yeah, I never even heard it. Backed over my own ladder. Oops. Things we still have to do. Have to have a canvas company make it up. I need to roll this out and put the wood in, you know, because it's just sitting in the 1100 mount, so it's not sitting in there properly. And I can't have a nylon strap, so I need to come up with some sort of probably cable, ratcheting cable of some sort to hold the tire in place there. But yeah, that's a video for another day. How exactly to get a 1400 in an 1100 spot without moving your bed. But there she sits. We've already started doing some pro bono stuff. We're going to take our very special group home neighbors out for a ride in the parade. Made an 8-year-old boy surprise birthday party ride. Those eyes sure got big. So Yeah, everybody who rides back here says it's really pretty good. It doesn't bounce as much as the cab, according to people who've ridden in both, and it's coming along. It's coming along nicely. We worked out our issues with the state of Montana. Basically, um, I stopped talking to them. Yeah, turns out they neglected to tell me the whole time I could declare it a limousine. And that completely solved every single issue. So you are now looking at the back of a 16 plus passenger limousine ready for your very finest of dinner engagements. What a joke, huh?